told you, no more. Shipment's 12 cans, get them. Ours? Look, there's been a cop hanging around.
I can see why they tax it.
Will you listen to me? I'm worried. I got a family to think of.
Well, then it's time you start thinking.
No more. Now, I told you I wasn't going to take any more of this stuff. Now, get it out of here. Get it out.
Stow it. Now, look, Mr. Anthony. We don't want any trouble. You don't want any trouble. You got 12 cans. That's $210.
I'll go to the police.
You hear that? He's going to the police. $210. You want the cops? Call them. Well, 5 minutes after you drop the dime, your family's dead.
Mr. Diamond?
Yeah, that's right.
I've been waiting for you. Come on, here.
Well, I got a little tied up on the freeway. Is he serious, or is that just a bit he does?
Stay off it. Sit down. With Ted working so late, he wanted a watchdog in the house. He's really very gentle with us.
Yeah.
Can I get you anything? Coffee, a drink?
No, thank you.
Well, I guess you'd like to know why I ask you here.
Yeah, I'm a little curious. My phone service just said that you wanted to see me.
Well, I'm sorry, but this is a new situation for me, and I find it a little difficult.
Mrs. Anthony, anything that you tell me will stay right here.
You're sure about that?
The same relationship as a lawyer has to his client. I suppose you tell me what it is.
I want you to find out something about my husband.
And I personally don't do that type of work. Besides, you can find somebody who'll do it for a lot less than you'll have to pay me.
Oh, I'm afraid you don't understand. It's not what you think.
Well, I guess I just better sit here until you tell me. Huh?
My husband's in trouble, Mr. Diamond, and I want you to try and help him out of it.
Well, it depends on what kind of trouble it is.
We own a bar out on Ventura Boulevard, mostly neighborhood trade. 6 months ago, 2 men came in and told my husband he was going to start buying his liquor from a new dealer. Then they delivered the first shipment. 12 5-gallon cans of illegal alcohol.
Bootleg?
They have a still someplace. I want you to find it, and I want the names of the men making and selling the stuff. With that information, I can go to the police and maybe make a deal.
What kind of a deal?
They get the information, and I get a guarantee of immunity for my husband.
Yeah, well, you're wrong on a couple of counts. You see, you can't make that kind of deal with the local police. And second of all, illegal alcohol is federal business. Now, I think you better take the whole thing right to them, let them handle it.
But I can't do that.
Why not?
They'd kill him. Last night when they made a delivery, he told them he'd had enough, that he was going to the police. They almost beat him to a pulp. I've got to have the names first. Then the police can stop them before they have a chance to get to Ted.
Well, why can't you get the names from him?
If he knows, he won't tell. I've gone over it all, Mr. Diamond. You're about the only hope I've got. Will you help me?
All right, Mrs. Anthony. If I come up with anything, I'll be back for a retainer.
One thing, Mr. Diamond. You can understand I don't want my husband to know I've talked to you.
Yeah, well, that's all right now, but later on I'm going to have to tell him.
Why?
Well, I don't want to be standing alone in this thing if the roof falls in. Bootlegging's illegal. It's a federal offense. Now, those boys play pretty tough.
I know. And all I can say is that I'm grateful.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah.
It's me. Listen, I hung around outside the house like you said. There's this guy nosing around.
Who is he?
I don't know.
Cop?
Could be. I tailed him to the Hollywood station. He's in there now.
Just a minute. It's Jack. There's somebody touching the Anthony place.
Who is it?
He doesn't know. The guy's talking to the law now.
Find out who he is. He's a cop, back off.
If he isn't?
Bury him.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Find a label. If he's got a badge, take a step. Otherwise, go.
How far?
You're a big boy. Use your own judgment.
Okay, I'll check back.
Are you kidding? Why, there's more moonshine being made today than there was during Prohibition. Here, drink a black.
Yeah. Well, it's news to me, Pete.
Well, most of it's made back east, but now and then somebody sets up a still out here.
Yeah, well, if you can buy it, why do you have to make it?
Well, you're a Scotch drinker, aren't you?
That I am.
How much you pay for a bottle?
$6, $7.
All right, figure it out yourself. Out of the total, about $2.10 is federal tax. Then the state gets a piece of it. Add the fact that the bootleggers don't have to buy any bottles, no labels, no packing crates. They got a lot of cushion in what they sell.
How much can they make?
Good location, good operation. Enough to float a battleship in a week.
Pete, as far as you know, is anyone making it in this area?
All right, Richard. What's the bid?
Well, there's no bet. I just ask a question. Do I get an answer?
I want to know what I'm stepping into. Why are you asking?
Well, I've got a client.
He mixed up with Popskull?
With what?
Popskull, moonshine, white mule. There are 100 names for it. You got a client cooking it?
Well, no, he's not cooking it. He's just in a little bit of trouble. I'm trying to help him out.
Now, look, if you've got any brains, you'll get over to the alcoholic tax unit and lay it in their laps. This is big time, Richard. Don't try to carry it yourself.
I can't do that, Pete.
Well, I'm not going to hold your hand on this one, Richard. You walk out of here, I'm going to call the unit and tell them.
Peter, look, this guy's in trouble.
That's a flash. If you're holding information, you're in line, too. Just from what you told me, there are 6 or 7 violations of the Internal Revenue Act. That's enough to give you a 2-year vacation in a federal prison. Now, don't stand on it, Richard. Get out from under.
I've got a client to protect.
As a cop, you're leaving me only one road.
Look, Pete, if I can't clear it up tonight, I'll be back tomorrow with the story, huh?
Now go, Richard. It's now or I make the call.
I'll see you right. Scotch. On the rocks. Says there's been somebody around here looking for me.
What's your name?
Diamond?
No.
He was supposed to meet me here at 2:30. Mind if I stick around and wait for him?
As long as there's a glass in front of you, you can stay until closing.
What happened to the other guy?
Huh?
Well, my father told me when I was very young that I should never fight with a bartender because he had too many friends. So I wondered what happened to the other guy.
No fight. I was moving some cases in the back room last night. Tripped.
So, you know, I've always wanted to own a bar like this. You must do all right here, huh?
I make out.
Neighborhood bar like this, no overhead. Say, do you own the property or do you lease it?
All right, mister. What do you want? You a cop?
No.
What are you asking all these questions for?
Well, just passing the time. It's...
Pass it someplace else.
Okay.
Mister, tell him from me once a month is enough. I don't want any watchdogs hanging around.
Now, what does that mean?
You got the message. Tell him.
Look, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Then you got nothing to worry about. Now stay out of here.
Hey, Buster.
You talking to me?
What are you doing in the bar?
I was having myself a drink. Why?
What are you talking to him about?
Talking to who?
Anthony. What do you got to do with him?
Well, I bought myself a drink. Does that concern you?
Stay away from him.
Are you asking me or telling you?
Any way you like it, Buster. Just stay away from him. Stay away from Anthony and his wife.
Well, what if I have other ideas?
You got the word. Stay away or you buy a funeral. His name's Diamond. I saw it on the car registration.
But you didn't find out what he was.
He got wise, so I belted him.
Oh, sure. That's the way. Don't think. Just start swinging.
Well, you told me.
Shut up. What do you guys think this is, a penny ante operation?
Charlie, listen.
No, you listen for a change. I want this guy, what's his name, this Anthony. I want him brought in here. I want him wrung out. I want to find out who's standing next to him. You guys built this trouble. You stop it. Because if you don't, you won't be around to know you flunked out.
Get the car out.
Diamond, come in. I didn't expect to see you tonight.
Well, I thought I'd better come back and tell you I won't be able to take the case.
Why?
Well, this afternoon when I spoke to you, I didn't realize how big this organization was. The federal government's in on it now. In fact, they're after me. When I leave here, I'm going to go right straight downtown and tell them the whole story.
Please, Mr. Diamond.
Look, if you want to help your husband, talk him into cooperating.
They'll kill him, sure.
Well, he's already a target. You know, these are not boys he's playing around with. They're grown men. They use real bullets.
You won't help us?
I'll drive you downtown.
I thought private detectives were braver than this. At least the ones in the books.
And the ones in the books are. They only bleed ink.
Agnes! What are you doing here?
Ted.
I want an answer.
I had to speak with you.
Why? What's going on around here? What has this guy been telling you?
I hired him, Ted. Or at least I tried to.
Why?
I wanted him to help you out of the mess.
You're a private detective.
That's right.
That's why you were in the place this afternoon.
Stay.
You shouldn't have left.
What's wrong?
I'm in trouble. I'm in more trouble than I've ever been in my life. You remember that woman who was in the place when you were there? Blonde?
Sort of.
She's dead. She was just sitting there. All of a sudden, she grabbed her stomach and she yelled. And she fell off the stool onto the floor.
What was the matter with her?
I didn't know. I thought at first maybe she was drunk. I took her to the office. I figured I'd let her rest a while. Then I went to make her a cup of coffee. I came back with the coffee and she was dead. She was just dead. It was the new booze. It must have been the new booze. I got all the other customers out and I locked the place up.
Did you call a doctor?
Why, I knew she was dead. A doctor couldn't do any good.
Who are the people that are selling this alcohol?
I don't know. I don't know their names.
Well, how do you contact them?
I don't. Once a month, they pull up, drop off 12 cans, and shove off.
What if you run out and want more? How do you get in touch with them then?
I don't know. Well, there's a card at the place, has a phone number.
I think we better go get that phone number. Operator, this is EM12173. I'd like to speak to Madison 60799. Speak to Lieutenant Kyle, please.
Lieutenant Kyle.
Pete, this is Diamond. About what I was talking to you this afternoon.
Now, the boys from the unit have got a warrant out for you. You better get in here and straighten it out.
Yeah, Pete, well, I can't right now. You just tell the boys in the unit to stand by. There's been a death from that alcohol. It's bad.
What?
There's no time for stories, Peter. Just get out to 10698 Ventura right away.
Where are you?
I'm practically there.
Now, wait a minute, Richard. What's this about a death?
I'll tell you when I see you, Peter.
There's no answer. Let me have the number. What are you going to do?
Now, the police check the address.
You said I could go.
Nobody's stopping.
Come on, honey. Come on.
I'm not going, Ted.
What are you talking about?
I'm not leaving.
You're out of your head. You know what they'll do to me?
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, give me the business office, please.
Hello, Mr. Anthony.
Hey, that's the guy.
You. Phone back on the hook.
Hey, watch out for that dog. I seen him around the house. He's mean.
Keep that chain tight. Otherwise, I'll put a bullet in his head. What are you doing here?
Well, Mr. Anthony hired me. He wanted me to straighten out the mess you fellas made.
What do you mean?
There's a body in the office. Your booze killed her.
How do you know? It could have been a heart attack or something.
Oh, we know what killed her. What are you going to do about it?
Why should we do anything?
Oh, your booze killed her. I figured that half the blame should be in your pocket.
What would you like, a refund?
It isn't funny.
I don't guess she's laughing either.
Now, I want an answer, buddy. What are you doing here?
Mr. Anthony hired me. He was worried about the police. He wanted me to watch over the place.
And what were you doing in the Hollywood police station, checking the time?
I got friends there. I wanted to find out what they knew.
Please, we didn't want any trouble.
Yeah, well, you got it already, lady.
What are you going to do?
I got a friend. He'd like to talk to all of you.
All right, let's go, honey.
Leave her alone. She had nothing to do with it.
Well, aren't you the brave little husband, though?
No, I just don't want to see her hurt. I can't change what you're going to do to me, but leave her alone.
Sorry. Let's go. You too, buddy.
And don't you think you ought to call those places you sold the booze to and tell them to stop pouring?
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
What'll happen to Ted?
Well, he'll have to go to trial.
Do you think he'll go to jail?
That depends on the courts. The fact that he's testifying for the state, that'll be in his favor, but He'll still have to serve time.
What about the others?
Well, there's only a couple of them running around. They'll be picked up in a couple of days. Important thing is they found that still. They have all that bad alcohol. You know, if it hadn't been for your husband, things could have been a lot worse. Our hero.
He's a good boy.
Hey, what's his favorite color?
What?
You know, black, brown, spotted, what?
I don't know. Why?
Well, after last night, I owe him something. I thought I might buy him his own cat.